So let me go here and just put on simplify to hear him talk. So coming out of that parking lot is pretty gnarly on El Camino. One, there's a lot of cars in your blind spot. I'm sitting fairly low. And you kind of have to time it. Actually, I hate coming out of that parking lot. It's a very dangerous parking lot. So it was coming out, and it probably could have done it, but when it comes out of parking lots, it kind of comes out very slowly, which is fine. But sometimes you need to just come out and push, get out of there quick. You want to be stuck in that pocket for too long. So I didn't want to get stuck in that pocket as it's pulling out very gently and slowly. Because when you commit, you got to commit. There's no thinking about it. If there is an open moment, you take it and accelerate out of there. And thankfully, these cars have the power to accelerate fairly quickly and catch up to speed. But on various occasions, I don't think it leverages its torque enough. Sometimes it does. It leverages the torque really, really, really nice. I mean, it gets out of the way really quick. And then there's times where it's getting out of there, but not getting out of there fast enough. It's like a little four-cylinder car trying to make its way up a hill. And, you know, with all the horsepower and torque that's on demand, it should say, okay, I'm going to commit and we're going to go. And commit and go. But there's been a couple of times where it commits, but it's a slow commitment. And so that's why I disengaged. I pressed on the brake because I wasn't sure. Didn't feel like it was going to commit fast enough. And sure enough, I had to wait. There were a lot of cars coming. And like I said, to be fair, that's actually even very difficult. Look, it's very difficult for even humans to get out of that parking lot. If you don't believe me, come to Toto's in San Bruno, that back parking lot. Come out of it to make a right turn on El Camino during the 6 o'clock hour, and let me know what you think. Toto's in San Bruno, the parking lot. Make a right turn on El Camino, going northbound. It's tough. There's another driveway. It could have gone like where I was parked. It went left, but it could have gone straight and navigated through the back part of the Toto's Pizzeria. There's another driveway. It's pretty steep. It kind of freaks out FSD a little bit, but it's slow. It's easier to predict. Traffic isn't as crazy, and I've driven down that one. I wish I could have chosen that instead. That's the other thing with maps. Is the maps is in a way where it's a take it or leave it kind of maps. You put in a destination and you have maybe a couple of options. You can go this route, that route, but they're kind of hard coded routes. Sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I don't follow that hard code route. I may go a different route, and I wish there was a way for it to learn that. What I'm trying to say is the maps. The maps is kind of a weak point for me. I think it's using Google Maps. Definitely needs an update or something. Yeah. Or another option for drivers to use other than Google Maps. Or use Google Maps suggested routes. That's what I'm saying. Folks have talked about Apple Maps. Apple Maps is actually beautiful on iOS, Mac OS. Apple Maps was criticized in the beginning, and it kind of earned that criticism. But Apple has stayed on top of it, has improved it over the last 10 years or so, and it's actually a beautiful map solution. All right, let's see how it goes up. Here it should be accelerating, getting up this hill fairly quickly. I got cars behind me. We're probably wondering, why in the hell is he going so slow? But as we get on this merge, it really needs to just like accelerate. Use that torque, command presence on the roadway here. This is okay. It's doing 35, but the car behind me is probably gonna come around me and go, "Get out of my way, Grandma." Actually, it's staying behind me. Very interesting. All right, we're getting up there now. 50. Oh, there's traffic. There's usually traffic. Oh, no traffic. And see, me, I would have merged lanes already. The sign that came at me says through traffic, merge left, but it's getting very risky. It's like taking it to the very last minute to merge. And that's really not necessary. You could have just merged earlier and called it a day. These are just little logical things that I wish FSD were to improve on. The logic, or the ability to actually read a sign and make that determination. Oh, okay, cool. Time to merge. Let's merge. Let's not wait. Now, what you don't feel is a car moving a lot. It's very windy. So the car is definitely working against the wind, keeping it centered. Very, very windy. Winds, it says northwest, 8 miles per hour. It definitely feels stronger than that. Now, I may drive a little too safe, but my exit's coming up. It's actually 2 exits from here, I believe. And I probably would have stayed more in the center. That way I could be closer to the right lane versus coming all the way across the this fast lane, which, as you can see, really doesn't make a difference because everyone's going the same speed. But now it's going to have to cross over additional lanes versus having stayed somewhere in the middle. So what I'm saying, it's not anticipating. It's not thinking far enough. Makes me wonder if it does get AI or improved AI, will it have that capability to think, you know, 4 or 5 steps ahead? Or what is that like now? Does it really think 1 or 2 steps ahead, or does it, like at the moment make that decision? My hope is that it's actually thinking a few steps ahead and it improves that. This is a notorious merge. Super notorious. People don't know how to merge. People slow down too much. People don't use the turn signal. Just a bunch of stupid decisions that people make. Seem to have handled that cluster F pretty well. It's always handled that pretty well. Humans don't seem to handle that cluster F. I'll keep it G. Cluster. Oh, I'll put the beep in there or something. Now, the last previous versions, it hasn't been able to conquer this, where it needs to stay in the middle lane to go straight onto, I think it's M Street or whatever it is, but instead it stays too far right, and then it tries to course correct by forcing itself across the lane, which is eventually D Street. Eventually, it just cuts people off. Oh, whoa! Look at this. It's staying in the right lane. Okay, this is a big deal, guys. You have no idea. Usually, in previous versions, I'm in 13.2.7. In previous versions, it's making the right turn, but it's on the wrong lane, the lane on the far right. And then what happens is the light turns green, and then the car goes, oh shit, I need to get on the left. So then it cuts off the car on the left. So this time it just found the right lane, and wow, okay, cool. Now that is great. That is great news. Great news. Now let's see if we can replicate that. I do feel like we see these improvements, but we need to see them replicated a dozen times to make sure that it's consistent. It wasn't just a spoof, a one-off. Do it again. So I'll probably have another opportunity tomorrow to try that again. That was really I was really impressed. I know it's little things, but that was really impressive because I have multiple each FSD ride coming off that freeway. It just takes the wrong turn, the wrong lane, course corrects, cutting off someone. Yeah, it's not good. This time it did it great. So, recap. Started off out of the parking lot, had to disengage because, yeah, coming out of that parking lot was a little too risky. It's risky for humans, still risky for full self-driving, which still has, very loose training wheels on. They don't have the full-on training wheels, but they're still on. And yeah, but once I got out of that, it did pretty remarkable. Huge kudos to how I handled off the freeway. That was a big thing. That is where a lot of the edge cases for me exist. Off the freeway. Which lane is it going to get on? Does it get on the right lane, the correct lane, or does it? Yeah, it did well. Congrats. Thanks for watching.